Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
Welcome to Bears on Tracks by Chicago Sports Podcast, where we're setting Soldier Field on fire with the hottest takes on your Chicago Bears. I'm your host of the most, Brandon Trackside, and oh my God, Bears Nation, we are electrified for the 2025 NFL season. The Bears are back, baby, and they're not just knocking, they're smashing through the door. We've got a roster ranked 8th in the NFL by ESPN, a top 3 offensive line, a sophomore QB in Caleb Williams ready to light it up, and a new head coach in Ben Johnson who is ready to ignite this city. And to break it all down, I've got my man Woody in the building. He's in the house. Woody, are you ready to feel the flames or what, bro?
I'm ready. I mean, this is the first season in years that I'm psyched about this offensive line. Plus, we have depth. I can't wait. I'm excited. Very excited.
Yeah, man. I'm excited too, man. And I'll tell you what. All right, Bears Nation, let's buckle up because here's the deal. We're diving headfirst into the inferno that is the Chicago Bears. I mean, let's get this thing blazing, man. I'll tell you what. The thing that got me excited the most is when you hear from a 4-letter network, you hear from the guys that are always against us, man. They're always against Chicago. I don't know why we should be in the upper echelon. We've been around forever, and I don't really understand it, man. But let's just kick it off, man. With the news that's got Bears fans screaming from the rooftops, ESPN's Mike Clay dropped his positional group rankings, and our Chicago Bears are sitting at number 8 in the entire NFL for overall roster. 8? Are you kidding me? After years of grinding through the trenches, the Bears are finally getting the respect they deserve. Woody, what does this ranking tell you about the franchise epic turnaround, and are you pumped as I am about where this team is headed?
Right. It's telling me that our GM, Ryan Poles, is doing a heck of a job on bringing these players in. And now all Bears fans want is everybody, every position working together. That's all that matters. So all the Bears fans should be fired up. Caleb Williams could be protected. This offensive line is going to be a beast. Darnell Wright, I picked being a Pro Bowl this year. So I'm excited for him to get upright and show him his arm strength, hitting these receivers, spreading around, scoring some points. Let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about it. Here's what's got me flabbergasted, because I don't know about you, but I'm in fantasy football, bro. And
7 leagues.
7 weeks. Oh my gosh, man. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yep. 7 leagues. I don't know how you can keep up with it, dude. Yep. But here's the deal, man. Looking back in the day, and you look at a team like the Saints, now the Philadelphia Eagles, the Chiefs, obviously, they got so many weapons. It's kind of hard to pick who's going to be the hot hand that week into fantasy football. A lot of mouths to feed in Chicago. One most notably that everybody's taking a love to is this guy right here, Luther Burden. Oh my God, dude. This guy, that guy's on fire, dude. No block, no rock. He took that obviously to heart, and he's blocking his tail off and making some really good catches. And there's some backups too that are just firing it up. And we'll get into some videos later on and stuff. But man, I'll tell you what. Come on, Woody. This isn't just a number, man. It's a battle cry. The Bears have been clawing their way back for years, man. And now the league is taking notice. We've got a roster loaded with veteran swagger. We got young studs and a game plan that screams playoffs. But let's zero in on the heartbeat, man, of this team, because there's one unit that's got my blood pumping. Let's talk about this offensive line, dude. This is crazy. The top 3 offensive line. I mean, hold on to your helmet, bro, because the Bears offensive line is ranked third in the NFL. Third. I mean, we were probably bottom, maybe like 29th, and now we're third. This is crazy. Are you serious? After years of watching our QB scramble for their lives, the front office said no more and rebuilt this unit from the ground up. We've got grizzled veterans and young talent soaring like missiles, man. Woody, how massive is this offensive line for protecting Caleb Williams and setting the tone for this offense, Woody?
It's awesome. I mean, Tooney, you see what he did at Kansas City, protected Patrick Mahomes. Dahlman, one of the best young centers out there. If he can stay healthy as well, Braxton Jones, he has a little bit of fire in his rear end right now because he has two, maybe three guys right behind him, at least for depth. And Jonah Jackson, that's one of Ben Johnson's boys.
Yeah.
And like I said, Darnell Wright, real young. And I picked him to go to the Pro Bowl this year. So, this offensive line is going to be doing some numbers this year.
Who'd you pick to go to the Pro Bowl? I'm sorry.
Darnell Wright.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Right next to Jonah Jackson makes perfect sense. And then you got Drew Dahlman in the center. So all that's conduit from the center on the way out. So he's going to hear it. He's going to set it off to the right guard, to the right tackle. And I like, every guy on the interior. And that's what a lot of guys are about, the defensive, the interior defensive line. If you look at that, the whole problem last year was we didn't have those interior dogs. As soon as Billing was gone, it was over. It was hard for Sweat to do his job or anyone else in the building. Same thing with the offensive line. If you don't have that interior, if you don't have your left guard, if you don't have your center, if you don't have your right guard nestled down and right in there for that pocket, the outside guys, the left tackle, the right tackle, they're out on an island by themselves. They can't do their job. And a guy like Braxton Jones, he's never had a coach. He's never had a coach in his entire NFL career, which isn't that large, but I'm just saying, you want to groom a guy, you want to teach a guy, you want to see what he's about, get him a good teacher, man. I mean, and now we finally got one in the building, and I really like Dan Rushauer, and I like, what he's about and everything. First time I've ever seen Olin Kreutz get excited. I'm sure you too ever get excited about an offensive line coach. I mean, I'm like, my God, dude. So I'm excited about this. And I will say one thing about Thuney. Thuney has been through a lot, dude. He blocked for Tom Brady, the GOAT. And he also blocked for Patrick Mahomes and now Caleb Williams. So this dude has been, and here's the thing, 5 out of 7 years that Patrick Mahomes has started, he has had different left tackles. 5 of those 7. That is a testament to him and the moving and revolving of that whole offensive line and Andy Reid and who he has on that coaching staff. I mean, that says a lot. Joe Thuney was there for that. I like that he's there. And you know what? I mean, how important for you? How important is it for our team to have a guy like Joe Thuney on our team, man?
He's been there. He's played with the best, played against the best, and he knows the offense and what he has to do with his job by protecting the quarterback, by opening up some holes. I'm glad that we, actually extended him as well. So I'm excited to see Thuney and actually our quarterback staying upright.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. 100%, man. Hey, and I'll tell you what, you brought up a good point, him staying upright. And the most important thing is getting rid of that ball, because like I said, yesterday's show, Tom Moore, the big difference between Peyton Manning his rookie year, where he got the most interceptions in the history of ever for a rookie, to the following year, hey, crooked man, try to get a hold of you and see if you could hop on with this. But I know you're busy and you need a little bit of time. So, but these things come, man. When you get breaking news, you got to jump on it. I didn't expect, I was thinking like Tuesday, I was just talking to Woody backstage. I'm like, I didn't expect this. I did not expect to already be rifled off some guys, 6 guys and a guy on injured reserve. Yeah, IR. Thanks, Wood. Yeah, so I didn't expect any of that to come out. I was waiting a little bit. Now here it is. So more people coming into the chat, man. You guys, thank you for showing up and showing out. But like I said, getting back to it, man. Oh my gosh, man. This offensive line, it looks good, man. And here's the deal. this offensive line, it's the engine of the team, man. More time in the pocket for Caleb. And back to time in the pocket. Sometimes that time in the pocket comes from the quarterback and comes from a guy like Tom Moore. Back to what he said to him. He says, listen, 3 seconds or less, get rid of the ball or else. That's what Tom Moore, the architect of the Indianapolis Colts entire offensive scheme while Peyton Manning was there for like 20 years, like 2 decades of dominance, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now, that was the big difference. He got rid of it in 3 seconds. He simplified things. He made it quick. He helped him get that ball off quicker. And guess what? If you look back, there was a lot of guys that were drafted late because once the Colts started winning, what happens? You draft late. You're not going to get the early round stars, the premium offensive line. So you got to learn how to draft at the back end of the draft. And these guys were like 5, 6, 7 UDFAs. I think Jeff Saturday was like drafted late too. I mean, and that guy, I mean, future Hall of Famer, probably, I would say. I don't know, I don't have any insider scoop, but the guy was awesome, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that's what's happening with Ben Johnson. And you could see it. Here's a play really quick. Let's go ahead and watch this video, Woody, if you don't mind. Where was that? I think is it this one? Let's check it out. If it's not, we'll find it. I didn't title these. I whipped them up really quick right before the show. Woody saw it. All right, here we go.
Little play action. He's going to get out in the flat to Swift. And Swift leaps over the Chiefs defender. Tamari Connor got hurdled. Pretty nifty run there from DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, Connor goes to take out his legs, and Swift anticipates that, gets over the top.
Okay, so that wasn't the play, but that was still a really cool play, right?
Right.
And he got rid of the ball quick, little fake handoff, and then a toss to his running back, and then boom. Next thing you know, this guy's making yards, and that's what I'm talking about. This is actually. Do you want to add anything to that hurdle before we move on, Hoodie or Woody?
Listen. These Bears fans all last year said, "Hey, get rid of Swift," and I was like, "Listen, with that mediocre, one of the bottom offensive lines, and you want to get rid of a guy that had 959 yards with a mediocre that line just stank. You're crazy." And with him, and he didn't play all preseason until against Kansas City on Friday night. And with that catch, he's like, "Yeah, I'm back."
That's a great point. And you heard it, Ben Johnson in one of his interviews. He was talking. It was on Hard Knocks. He was like, right. You know me better than anybody else. He said that, and he laughed and he smiled. Swift smiled at him. So let's cut the crapola, guys. These guys are cool. He's not going anywhere. Why would you get rid of this guy? And it's by freaking by committee. Yeah. If they were that worried about who they were going to get at running back, if they're worried about the room, they wouldn't have waited till the late rounds to go get a guy like Monangai, which I like too. But check out, I finally found the video. So check this out. Here we go.
Williams underneath, and it is caught for a touchdown by Odunze. He cashes in to close the drive.
Thread the needle.
And a well-executed 2-minute drill for Chicago and Caleb Williams.
Good anticipation, pulled the trigger, and you saw Caleb. He was ready to throw that ball.
Like our co-host Jim Miller says that over at the casino. And by the way, right here, while we're on topic, that's where we'll be at for these 4 games. Week 2, Week 6, Week 9, and Week 11. We'll be at Wind Creek Casino on Homewood Flossmoor with Jim Miller for the Chicago Bears watch party. The first time in the history of ever that a podcast has actually been ever able to be at a casino. First of many things, one of which was when we were at the Pro Football Hall of Fame last year for Mongo and Hester and all those guys. And then this year also for Jared Allen, because remember, he had a little crossover from the Chiefs, the Vikings, and then, our Chicago Bears. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. Hope to see you guys up there. But, man, I'll tell you what, this team is freaking unbelievable. And, things like that can happen with Caleb. I mean, we all know what Caleb can do off script, Woody. We've seen it. We've seen him extend plays. We've seen make our offense look a lot better. We've seen what he can do. But when you've got a guy like Ben Johnson that simplifies the playbook and makes sure that everybody is running those crisp, clear routes and they know where they're going and everybody's smart and it's attention to detail. And if you mess up in practice, yeah, we're talking about practice, Woody. If you mess up in practice, I'm going to pull you. Even if you're a first rounder, even if you're a blue chip, I'm pulling you. I'm pulling the whole first string and I'm putting the second string and third string in. They understand it. They get it. Talk about how important that is to you, Woody.
It's Ben Johnson. It looks like, first of all, I was surprised that he wanted to come to a division team, him coming from Detroit and stuff like that. Just the plays, like the players, like you could tell when I call him Eberflush, but when he was the coach there, you could tell that the players didn't really want to play for him. Maybe he's a great defensive coordinator, but it seems like when Ben Johnson's in on the sticks here, it's just like players know how he is, how he was in Detroit, how exciting his plays were. He was doing, reverses. He was doing, geez, when was the last time that, Bears like to do just a slant pass? They did that 4 times on Friday night. Just slant passes over the middle for like 5-6 yards if it's a 3rd and 4. That's what the Bears need to do. He's very exciting. Everybody knows it in the division. Division's in trouble because Ben Johnson is coming.
No, and you know what? You're 100% accurate. You're 100% right. I think, Ben Johnson is coming. He's coming for you. Listen, talk about the almighty flex right there, Woody. When he went out and let his whole the whole second half of the Buffalo Bills game, he let all of his staff call that game. He let his offensive coordinator and his defensive coordinator call the entire second half of the game. That is a flex, bro. If that is a flex more than anything, and you know what that tells me? If these knucklehead referees, they will go ahead and let guys like, you saw what happened with Kansas City Chiefs, man. You saw what happened with Kansas City Chiefs where they go ahead and get these favored plays. I think Ben Johnson is going to get in their face and he's going to call them out on their crap. He might get tossed, and if he does, he can be like, hey, you guys are ready. You guys call the players for the rest of the game. Daddy's going to sit this one out because I just got in the ref's face and I got ejected. But, hey, I think that's what we got on our hands, man. He's ready to roll up his sleeves and do what matters in order to get us back to where we need to be. He's not scared. He's not going to sugarcoat things. I think he is what the Chicago Bears have needed for decades. Woody, you've been around this franchise a long time, man. Does this feel like the old days of the coaching where it pretty much exemplifies and it shows like the blue collar tough grit of our Chicago Bears, man? Yeah,
it used to be, and like I said, I've been a Bears fan since I was 5 years old, and I'll be 49 this year, so do the math. It's exciting now because of Ben Johnson with his offensive capabilities and what he did in Detroit. But think back then, it used to be our defense, our example, 2006 with Rex Grossman brought us to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we lost that against Indianapolis with obviously Peyton Manning. It's exciting to be on both sides of the ball. But back then it used to be defense, but this is offense. Ben Johnson's offensive coordinator is exciting. So it's going to be a lot of points to be scored this year. And hopefully it's a lot in the first half, because last year we were last in the league in points in the first half. We can't have it this year, and I don't think it will be.
Oh, man. And I tell you what, getting back to what you just said, that is huge and that is crucial. And that's why I think they did their due diligence, Woody, and went out and got themselves a solidified, in-depth offensive line and defensive line. I mean, we were used to, and you go look at a guy like Peppers, you get him after that. Oh my gosh. It's a while before you get another guy to be. I mean, there are layers to this defensive line. There are layers to this offensive line. There's a guy in Luke Newman. There's a guy that I really like. He could play multiple positions. You got the Ozzie. Ozzie could play multiple positions. All these guys could play multiple positions. I really like that. How important is that to you, Woody, the depth and all that? In case a guy goes down, you can, and listen, Tyson Bagent, love the story, love the kid, love the grit. Now we've got a guy, if Caleb needs a week, if it's a light, tissue or whatever for a couple weeks, whatever it is. You got a guy in him. You got a guy in Case Keenum. Those guys can help steady the ship for a couple weeks until he gets back. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah, it's with the Case Keenum story. Obviously the miracle in Minneapolis when against New Orleans in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But you gotta see a fire in Tyson Bagent too, because last year or a couple years ago when he had to fill in for Fields or had to fill in for Caleb Williams and stuff like that, he wasn't all there. He wasn't too good to be a backup quarterback. And I know this is a preseason and stuff like that, but he's absolutely the offensive player of the preseason so far for the Bears. And now the trust in our backup quarterback is big if Caleb goes down or something happens.
No. And I love that you said that. I love that you said preseason, and that's important because you're playing against the 2s and 3s. Very rarely are you playing against the 1s. And when you are playing against the 1s, it's usually R1s. And when you play against R1s, yeah, we're coming at you stronger than we ever had before. And they're talking about this is the hardest practice that's a lot of the vets have ever had. But that doesn't really mean a whole lot. It really doesn't mean a whole lot when everything's like sugar coated and it's, manageable, bits and all this and that. That doesn't mean that you might be getting us at about 75, 80% or something. Just throw numbers out there. I don't know exactly how hard these guys are going, but I don't think that they're, you know what I'm saying? So when he goes out there, you'll see Ben Johnson. He will definitely dial it down and make it manageable for him and easier. And I think you're going to see a different, all with that things considered, Woody, it'll be a whole lot different look. Plus he's grown, so it'll be good. I think you'll see something different this year, Woody. Plus you got an offensive line, brother, because that's important, right?
Absolutely. It's just that I'm not people that know me that I'm not a preseason guy, but I still obviously watch the games.
Oh yeah.
Take for example, we're playing Buffalo last week, and I know they're professional teams, and I know it's preseason, but you shouldn't be shut out. All right, so we shut out Buffalo Bills 38-0. These kids are fired up, and I was like, wow, I know Josh Allen didn't play, James Cook didn't play. I understand that Knox didn't play either, but these kids are excited to win 38-0 against Buffalo Bills, which is my AFC Super Bowl representative this year.
And I'll tell you another thing. Oh, okay. Shout out to that early call. I will say this. The thing about that is they also squat on the goal line. They could have scored again. But that little wink that, Declan was like, come on, man, let's call the dogs off. Like, really, dude? What, and Ben just gave him a little wink, like, all right, we call the dogs off. It's cool. They could have scored some more, bro. They could have piled it on there. You know what I'm saying? So, and some of those guys are going to end up being the future Uber drivers of America for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they're all playing for a job. They're all playing for what matters. And their city's on the line and they don't want to look like that. I mean, look at the eyes, and we'll get into that play later on with Jade Walker when you throw that in the end zone with Tyson Bagent. When you look at the eyes and you look at the face of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they wanted to win that game. And they were even like, wow, that was a good throw. That was a good catch, all of that. So even at that level with those guys, when they're winning multiple Super Bowls and everything that they've done in the last 7 years, I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, as high as they are, you could still see a reaction. And they were like, I'm not no lip reading, professional or whatever, but I didn't see with their lips where they were, it's just preseason. Don't worry about it. They were looking, man. They were looking. I think this, hey, they're professionals. It matters.
Yeah. Walker, I'm thinking welcome to the Chicago. And I'm saying bye to Tyler Scott right now because it wasn't the touchdown catch. It was the catch in bounds that they had to review. The toe tap was amazing catch. And that I don't know. It's usually it's a better throw or better catch on that winning touchdown.
Yeah.
My God, was it a better throw than a better catch or vice versa? No idea.
I think all the way around, even the play calling, it all worked out great. And listen, did you see the face of Antoine Randall right behind him? He was like, "Oh my God!" Like, dude, Antoine Randall, he's been around for a while. He's seen some pretty amazing things over with the Detroit. He's been around. He's seen it on both sides. He was a quarterback. He was also a receiver. He's been around some pretty magnificent things, and he was pretty impressed with that. So that says a lot for both those guys, in my opinion. So
these young kids are having fun, and that's what's fun. You could take the Walker's touchdown dance was amazing.
Yeah.
What was amazing. So the way he ran off to the sideline, I thought he did the whole field. But these kids are having fun, and
bigger than yesterday.
So I'm excited for him.
Yep. And now let's look at this toss from Tyson. Here's a good one right here. Here's our next scene. Here we go. Here's a clip.
He's got Freeman. Freeman's there, and he holds on for the touchdown. Back in the end zone, Royce Freeman.
Really a nice job by Luther Burden, sucking up some of the coverage right through the middle on a slant. Kind of took the defense with him.
Love that. Love what Luther did. Love how, Tyson extended the play. He went left a little bit. He extended the play, and as a quick toss, made it simple,
Just I like Luther's blocking. I mean, if you look at the Buffalo game, goal line stance and stuff like that, you should see the 2 blocks that he had to get those running backs in the end zone. It was amazing. Luther he's going to be a star. He's going to be a star.
When you hear from Ben Johnson, he says no block, no rock for the receivers. What do you think that means for the offensive line? That makes them dial it up a little bit. If they're making the receivers block when they're not catching the ball, that's important. And I'll tell you what, that has ripple effects all the way throughout. And I think the culture started when he said no cell phones at practice, and all this other stuff is really what matters. I mean, you didn't listen. You would look like we lost some of these games that we won in the preseason and all that with the way Ben Johnson's. I wasn't too happy with the first drive and all that. We'll get into that interview coming up here. But and here it is. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Get your popcorn. This one was the other ones were from Chicago Bears and also the NFL. We don't own the rights to that. And this one's CHGO. Shout out to CHGO for clipping this. So
held the ball for, it was like 5 seconds, I think.
Sounds like good protection.
And took a sack.
See, last week was a really good start for us. This week it wasn't quite the same. It didn't feel like. So once again, we'll take a look at that and we'll see what we need to address with it.
I love that, dude. He's calling it. Sounds like good protection. He cut it off. There was no cookie cutting. There was no dancing around. He just nipped it in the butt right away. Sounds like good protection. 5 seconds, and they took the sack. We need to do better.
Yep, stick it up for his players, though.
Oh yeah.
So it's amazing how he's a good interviewer too. But Ben Johnson's young. I can't wait.
It's good stuff, right? I mean, and I like you said. Here's the deal: sticking up for his players, but he also will address where the problem is. And that one right there, without saying his name, that was Caleb. He had perfect protection. Get rid of the ball. Don't take the sack is what I heard.
Yeah, I just hope Ben Johnson gets that out of Caleb's head. I mean, 28 of his 68 sacked last year, because obviously Caleb was the most sacked in the league last year. 28 of them, if you go back and look at the numbers, he held the ball 5 seconds or more. 28 sacks.
Oh, dude, I love that. That's so important. That's so critical. And going back to Tom Moore, what he said to Peyton Manning, get rid of it 3 seconds or less. Ben Johnson's going to keep nailing him on that. He's going to keep nailing. Hey, remember early in training camp, he pulled him. I mean, that's what he's doing, man. And guess what? I got a couple other quarterbacks that are ready. Don't make me, but if I have to, I will. This team is bigger than one guy, and I think that's what
Ben Johnson's the type of coach that says, I don't care if you're drafted 1 overall, you're going to earn your spot on this team, which I respect. You got to respect that.
Yeah. I mean, don't make me mistake about it. Caleb's got all the tools. He just got to get dialed in, and it needed a guy like this. You've never had to try before in your life. You always went off of all of the skills that you had. You've probably been the best athlete or one of the best athletes on the field up until this point. Now, hey, you need a guy like this that's gonna teach you, man. It's gonna teach you. And I think
I wasn't a Caleb Williams fan.
I know.
I admit it now. I wasn't a Caleb Williams fan. I wanted Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
But I want Caleb Williams to prove me wrong, like all the other Chicago Bear fans as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree, brother. I agree. And you know what? That's right. This offensive line, though, it's the engine, and I think this is the engine that's going to help the ignite things. It's going to start this up, man. More time in the pocket for Caleb, and you see he likes to be in the pocket. He is getting more comfortable in the pocket, and all that. So that's good. So that gives him more confidence and fewer mistakes. Bears Nation, this line is going to be carving paths for our running game and keeping Caleb upright to sling it, man. Woody, do you think that this offensive line is the real deal? And can they stand tall against the league's fierce pass rushers over 17 games?
I would have to answer that question like maybe after the bye week. But to me, this is probably the best offensive line up that we had in years.
Yeah.
The only question I have is the center. If Drew Dahlman gets hurt because he hasn't been healthy his short career that he's had, all we have is Kramer Jr. back there. That's the only position on the line that I'm worried about right now because of the depth we have. But this is the best offensive line I'm thinking on paper in years, but they all got to gel together. That's what's most important.
I agree, but I do know that Luke Newman has played, center before, and I think there's another in there. So, yeah, while they're not starters and all of that, I do think we did our due diligence in finding guys that could fill like you said, Dahlman goes down. Hey, what do we got? I love that. I love that. Hey, and remember, too, let's give this guy, Dan Rushhour, a chance to get these guys dialed in and blocking. Now we finally got some tape. We finally got some tape against a team, some starters, some second string, some guys that are up against us in the preseason. Now we've got a couple weeks to dial it back and dial it in, and I think that's going to help out. So we'll see what happens. But I like what you said there about the center. I am a little nervous about that too, man.
Yep.
For sure, man. And let's not forget, it's just not about the protection either, Woody. It's about domination. The Bears are saying we are going to own the trenches by what they did. They spent a lot of money there, bro. They spent a lot of money. This is classic Chicago football with a modern edge, man. Speaking of modern, let's talk about a guy who's going to make an explosive, an offensive explode. And you've talked about a little bit about him also, and that's a guy with the thumbs up right below us, Ben Johnson, man. I'll tell you what, Woody, I'm losing my mind over Ben Johnson, him being in Chicago. This guy is an offensive wizard, man. When you're beating guys, listen, when you're beating guys 30, 40 points to a clip. And we forget, Woody, the Lions, they made you forget that they were playing their second and third string. They had 14, 15, 16 guys injured. A lot of them were on the defensive side of the ball, but they had a lot of offensive guys injured also. We would forget that they were beating guys with that much points, and it was with their backups. So this guy is crazy, and he's great at play calling, man. In Detroit, he did a magnificent job, and watching the 4th of July fireworks show, man, that's what it looks like when he's calling it, man. He's bringing the heat to Soldier Field. Pairing him with Caleb Williams in his second year, man, I'll tell you what, I'm about ready to run through a wall with this guy. I know I'm too old and they don't want me, but I feel like I got a block or two left in me for a guy like Ben Johnson, because we're not just calling plays just to call plays, man. I mean, this guy, the potential for this duo to finally push the Bears into playoffs, man. I mean, seriously, do you think we could potentially be, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, I'm going to let you finish this out. Washington, the year before, they had exact same thing, 4 wins, and then they were the NFC. They were in it, 1 game away from being in the Super Bowl. Washington, from worst to first.
Yeah, worst. Right. Yeah. And when you brought up Washington, I do way early prediction. I picked them to win that division in the NFC East, but that's
Last
another
year
story.
you did?
No, this year. This year.
Is that before Bijan? Is that before they trade away Bijan or after?
Oh, Brian Robinson? Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah. I don't know what Washington's doing. They had a team set up. They just signed Debo with the scary Terry stuff with the contract holdout. That might be a little bit distraction. Hopefully, I'm a biggest Eagle hater in the world. So this is why I need Washington up on that division. When you mentioned Ben Johnson, I mean, it's none of the. It's not going to be boring. It's not going to be these. Oh, Bears win 16-13.
Yeah.
Thursday night, I remember a couple years ago we played Washington on Thursday night. We won 15-13. It's not going to be this. We're going to be an average of close to 20, 25 points a game with this Ben Johnson as our coach and stuff like that. So everybody's excited to see the points. That's what makes us have our favorite teams because of point scoring.
Sure.
So this is going to be a high scoring team, and we're going to be shooting out with some teams this season or next season. But we could be winning these shootouts. Back then we couldn't.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, Woody, better than anybody. Out of all 32 teams, there is no team in the NFL, not even the Eagles, all the way from the left to the right, all 5 guys. There's no way that they have Pro Bowl caliber guys at every position: left tackle, left guard, right guard, center. There's no way. There's no way anybody stacked the deck. Look at that. You're going to have, like we said earlier, 5 out of 7. And the worst that they've ever done is be in the AFC Championship with the Kansas City Chiefs. 5 out of 7 times he's had a different left tackle. That ought to tell you about a Super Bowl repeating 3-time champ Kansas City Chiefs, man. I mean, you think out of everybody, and that was the first half-bill quarterback out of all of this. I mean, nobody's going to have a stacked deck all the way from left to right tackle, Woody. So, yeah, right now, we might not be looking at our left tackle for next year. We might be, and okay, so Jacob Infante, he just got a hold of me. We were talking. Actually, I got a hold of him, and we were talking on X app. And he even posted today. He was successful over there where he was at, and now he's moving back to Chicago. And he was telling me, I said, hey, out of next year, who do you look at left tackle if this doesn't work out? If we don't find our left tackle for the future and he's not on our roster, who would you look at? And he was looking around in the 20s. He said, look at the kid out of Utah at left tackle. So take a look at that guy. Let me know what you think, Woody. He might not be on our team. Our running back might not be on our team. But the excitement that we have that we can do all this by committee at left tackle and running back, and this whole all these guys look like the Avengers of coaching, Woody. This whole staff is amazing from back to front, bro.
I'm excited about Ben Johnson, but nobody talks about Eric Bieniemy. I mean, this guy was an offensive wizard.
Yes.
He could have been a head coach anywhere in the NFL. He was offensive coordinator before Matt Nagy left Chicago to go back. I mean, he's a running backs coach. I mean, this whole coaching staff, Al Harris, Randall L., the only one that's remaining since back then was Hightower. And all these coaches are top-notch coaches. Mm-hmm. And they've been in the trenches before. And the whole thing is that what I've learned is you could be the best on paper, but everybody has to work together to win championships.
I love that. That's so important, dude. That is so important. I agree with you, man. And I think we got the right guys. I mean, don't you feel that way? Don't you feel like everybody – I mean, you don't see any ripples. You don't see any issues. And we're not there for everything. But I really think everybody is buying in. And I think that is so important. Right, bro?
And with Dennis Allen as our defensive coordinator, oh, my God.
I
mean, look at my defensive player of the preseason is Austin Booker. This guy, he great young kid, and he comes out. He has 3 sacks in one game. I think he had 4 for the preseason totally. This kid could have been, they said, top probably second round this year, but Ryan Poles was a genius, went back into the draft and picked him up, and he is on fire. So
agree.
This defensive line too is, man, it's going to be. If Montez Sweat, he played injured last year, the whole year, but if he's healthy, this defensive line is going to be a beast as well.
And they're all going to work with him. I think it's going to work. Like you said, it's going to work seamlessly. Everybody's buying in. That's important. They're all grinding. They're all working hard, and they're all trusting the process. And I think that's going to speak high volumes to that. Listen, if you and I work together, let's say we're working in a factory or something, Woody, or let's say we're working for FedEx or something, and we've got the same routes and whatever, and we're supposed to be delivering all of these routes. Let's say we have like 500 packages each to deliver. Whoever finishes first has to go help the other guy with his packages. Right. But if we all finish at the same time, we can go home.
Right.
Woody, if you have to come help me out every single day instead of going home to your family and going and doing, you're going to start to get a little fed up with that and be like, Trax, what are you doing, bro? It's ridiculous. Whatever, earn your keep, you bum, all this. And I feel like, because of that, because 40 minutes of the game, the defenses was out there. Even with that defense and the lack of coaching and everything that we needed last year, just with the defensive coaching right now, the defensive line coach, Dennis Allen, Al Harris, oh my gosh, all these guys, just with that alone, bro. And now with the all updates, Shamar Turner, all these guys that are coming in here, helping out, whatever. I mean, this is going to be huge. But when they see that offense start to score and stay out there on the field and extend plays and get some time to get their Gatorade, get their water bottle, get the oxygen mask, do whatever they have to do, hit the bike, just chill out, relax, and just kind of get a breather. See what was going on differently. Look at the tape. They can't even look at their iPads and be like, okay, what happened? And their coach is trying to tell them, you need to make this. Oh, you got to go. They're already calling for you. Get your helmet.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. I don't even know what happened. I can't regroup. You can't. So guess what? They're going to attack and do the same thing over and over again. Without Billings there, that was huge. But now we've got a guy in Grady Jarrett right next to him. I think we are going to look really good on that inside. Woody, how do you feel about that, man?
The veteran presence, buddy. The veteran presence. That's when Billings went down last year, the big thing is that you just mentioned, you nailed it on the nose, is that Bears were number one in the last 3-4 years in 3 and outs. And that would tire your defense out. And that's when your defense gets scored on. But my key this year is getting to the quarterback. The last couple of years, the defensive edge rushers, the interior line hasn't gotten to the quarterback to sack and stuff like that. So that is key for me. But for Grady Jarrett being a veteran presence on that line since he was in Atlanta, he did great there.
Yes,
that's
sir.
great for Billings and the young guys around him.
Dude, I love it. It's awesome. It's so cool. And here's the other thing too. I like what Dennis Allen does. He takes his back seven and he disguises the coverage. So now what happens when you disguise the coverage and the quarterback's like, whoa, who's open? Who's open? Now you're giving the defensive line, the front four, more time to pressure. So you don't have to send the dogs. You don't have to send linebackers. Not all the time. We will at times, but not all the time to get the pressure. And you're not going to have to send linebackers, defensive backs come in and blitz. You can disguise things, zone blitz, all this cool stuff. But if those defensive backs are creating pressure and guys like Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon are jamming them up, guess what? Now that defensive line's got more time to get in the quarterback and put pressure and make him throw off-scripted throws. And you got guys like J.J. McCarthy, who's finally getting out there the first time in the history of ever. Yeah, it's his second year, but the first time on the field. You're going to get to him early and often, and I like what's going to happen, and I think that's going to be huge, Woody. I think that's going to be huge with Dennis Allen to make that back seven and led by JJ, disguising it and making things look exotic and weird. And it, like Tom Brady said, dude, this guy gave me fits. Dennis Allen was a nightmare. When the GOAT says that, we've got a good guy in the building, bro.
Yeah, Dennis Allen was a great addition to the team. Yeah, you're right on the head too. I want to see Spider-Man getting there, Gordon getting there like Brian Branch did in Detroit. But yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. I think I'm more excited about the offense and scoring points than the defense this year. So, like you said too, is that Last year, we're the second cheapest in the league in offensive line, money-wise. Now we're the third most. So that's key. Ryan Poles did it. Ben Johnson did it. The whole coaching staff did it. And this is the year. This is the year we're going to go further. Yep.
I love it, dude. I love it. That's a bar right there. That's a bar, folks. So Bears Nation, you feel that? Ben Johnson's schemes are QB friendly. Dennis Allen's schemes are defensive back friendly. I'll tell you what, explosive. Caleb's got that arm on the offense, the smarts, and now the protection to take the league by storm. I'm telling you guys, if Caleb makes that year 2 jump, we're not just talking playoffs. We're talking about year in and year out being contenders in the NFC North. And the NFC North is loaded, folks. We got one of the best divisions right now.
Yep.
Woody, what's the one thing that Caleb needs to do this season to prove to you that he's the face of this franchise, bro? What's the one thing?
Well, 2 things. Smart throws, like that throw against, I know it's preseason again with Roman Dunze. Swift was wide open in the flat, and he threw a double coverage to Roman Dunze, and it was actually knocked down. Not favoring receivers like Fields did with Mooney, and getting rid of the ball. I say getting rid of the ball is number 1.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I like this play, getting rid of the ball. Like I said, it's against the 2s and 3s, but we're talking about getting rid of the ball. We saw a nice throw where Caleb was asked to get rid of the ball quickly, and he did, and he read the right play. But listen, look at this one. I want to watch this again with Tyson. Watch this.
7 seconds to go. Bagent will throw, and it's caught. Touchdown, Bears. Walker gets the touchdown. What a comeback by the Chicago Bears. 6 yards on the play. Walker with the touchdown.
Well, I mean, it's perfect coverage. It just happens to be a perfect pass. I mean, he's right.
Bro, that right there, that was awesome, right? That was so cool, bro.
He read the defense. He read the cornerback. His back was turned, and it was just amazing throw. But the catch, he was covered. Walker was covered. Like all he had to do was stick his hands out, and it was right there. Kept his feet in. That's great to see where his feet were and concentrate, and you've seen his reaction and stuff like that. And again, I think Walker's on this team, and goodbye Tyler Scott.
And you got to know when to pull the trigger. You got to have confidence and conviction. If you have conviction and you see a spot, you got to seize the moment. You got to take it. That's what Tyson did. He threw the dot in there, and it's 2-sided, like you said. Well, Jahdae Walker must have did something with his eyes to where he didn't seal it, because dude didn't turn around and throw his arm up and bat it down. He did something in order to make that play look like the defensive back still had a chance. I love how it all went down. It was great, man. I'm telling you what, though, man. Let's shift over to the defense one more time, because I'm telling you what, I like what I see there. We've got some playmakers in the secondary, pass rushers who can wreck shop, and a unit that's bringing classic Chicago fire, man. And this all dovetails back to the ESPN rankings, and we need to get back to that before we get into the cuts. ESPN rankings love the balance of the roster, man. Veterans and young guns clicking together. But there's still talk about the running back room, man, and the receiver depth. Woody, how confident are you in the defense carrying the load, and are there any weak spots that keep you up at night? Is there something that you think that we could address right now that would really help us out, Woody, in the defensive side?
My question is Brisker. You know, he had 12 games out last year of concussion. Next year, we have no safeties under contract. None at all. That makes me not sleep at night. Plus, with JJ, hopefully he's well for week 1. I'm not sold on Wright. Us losing Terrell Smith was big, believe it or not, was big. So the defensive backfield is what worrying me a little bit. And that's my reasons for that.
What's up, Erica? How you doing? Yeah, I agree, man. The defensive backfield, it's definitely looking usually were loaded up. But with the injuries and whatnot, I see what you're saying, and we're still questioning Brisker, what's going on. It could be a little tricky for sure. It could be a little tricky for sure. I'd have to agree.
Even Stevenson. Stevenson had his roughing penalties, after curricular activity of the play. Obviously the Fail Mary last year when he was, talking to the crowd and wasn't in the play and actually tipped it to the guy. Stevenson's young, so hopefully he can pull through this year as well.
Well, and then like you said earlier, you got a guy in Al Harris, and the first thing that Al Harris did was he sent him to a special camp or whatever, and was like, hey, let's get this guy dialed in because we can't be having these behavioral issues. We need some discipline out here. And I do like that, calling guys out right away. I think that was important because we have seen flashes of Tyreek being really good. He's definitely not that number one in Jalen. We got to get Jalen back, bro. Seriously. That's very important, So
I'm not sold on Wright. And he's been getting burned with the second and thirds too as well. So hopefully Jalen Johnson's healthy enough to come back. And I know it's a soft tissue injury. I thought it was because of Saucer, his contract. I deserve more. I'm better in Saucer, but it was an injury. So hopefully he's back on week 1. I know Minnesota, they don't have Addison. He's suspended. So now they got to worry about Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson and stuff like that. So just get Jalen Johnson back healthy.
I agree. And JJ for JJ, let's lock it down. May the best JJ win, and it's going to be our guy for sure.
Yep.
He'll be ready. I think he'll be ready, bro. This is the year where you will see guys who said they were injured play and they were just hurt. They're going to play hurt, and they're not going to say it's an injury. They're going to play through that kind of stuff because they believe in what's happening and they want to be a part of it and they want to win, man. They've finally got a product out there. So I think JJ comes back and plays, man. You got to have him,
Yep.
And that's what I'm talking about, man. This defense is going to be hunting down quarterbacks. I really feel that way with Dennis Allen and that whole deal that he's got going on. They're going to be locking down passing games, but we've got to address those question marks you were talking about for sure. Also at running back and receiver, we need to address, man. The Bears aren't perfect, but they're building a legit contender for sure. Not some one-year wonder, Woody. What do you think Ryan Poles, general manager Ryan Poles, is making? Do you think he's making the right calls right now to shore up these depth pieces for the long haul? Do you feel like he's got a good, pulse?
Yeah, he has a young guys, like a couple young guys on the offensive line with the veteran presence, same as the defensive line. The receivers, DJ Moore is not going to be a Bear for the rest of his career. So we need some, guys to, fill in for him as well. Running back position, Managai. This is a funny story. I was getting a haircut and we're talking the Bears draft players. I said, I like this Managai guy. And this guy's like, yeah, he's a good guy. He took his apron off and he was the Rutgers athletic director.
Really?
Yes. And he's like, you guys got a player on your team that does not give up. He'll give his 110%. And I'm excited for these young guys to fill in a couple years down the road for these veterans that we're not going to have anymore. But yeah, he's making the right moves. Poles. Just got to play together.
I love that. I love that happened. And you know what? Those guys, I'll tell you what, those guys in the barbershop, they could have their own podcast, ain't it, Woody?
Yeah, I know. All Eagles fans, I'll be on that hating. I know that.
That was funny. You were talking about the barbershop, and I was like, I can't let you one up me on that. I had time to go get my ears lowered. So I went and got it cut, and we started a little bit later. But yeah, man, his tracks is looking a little rough and scraggly yesterday. But dude, so we got some breaking news. It happened a little bit ago. Like I said, I was going to have this show tomorrow and then probably something else Tuesday because we usually have our shows on Mondays and Thursdays for the watch parties. But this is a special ripple here. So I'm glad Woody could answer the bell for sure. So here's the deal, man. Okay, Woody, the breaking news for today is that the Bears Nation is buzzing like crazy. The Bears just dropped a bombshell today on Sunday with their latest roster moves ahead of August 26th cut down deadline. They placed defensive back Terrell Smith on injured reserve. That's Terrell Smith on injured reserve. Tough blow, man.
Yep.
And they also waived 6 players. Linebacker Swayze Bozeman, offensive line Chris Glazer, tight end Thomas Gordon, defensive back Mark Perry, wide receiver Samori Toure, and defensive back Jeremiah Walker. These moves are shaking up the roster, man, and it's clear Ryan Poles is making big chess moves. Which of these transactions hit you the hardest, and what do you make of Terrell Smith landing on IR, Woody?
Terrell Smith is I liked him ever since the Bears got him. He was a great backup if somebody gets hurt or needs a break. That's going to be the tough on our defense. That's going to hurt me for the year. Now the recent cuts. I mean, if I had to choose one, I mean, there's a lot of DBs back there that just got cut. So I was wondering, what they must have something going on because we need DBs, stuff like that. If I had to say one person, I mean, Hankins maybe. I mean, he hasn't played that much. Maybe Jeremiah Walker, defensive back as well. But these are players that we knew were going to cut already. But Terrell Smith's going to hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude, seriously. And you know what? The poor guy can't catch a break, man. I mean, it's crazy, dude. It is crazy. And here's the deal with Ryan Poles, man. He's out there playing 4D chess, man. Waving guys like Samori Toure and Thomas Gordon, sending Swayze Bozeman packing. That's a bold statement, man. And losing Terrell Smith to IR hurts, but it's opening up space for Poles to maybe snag some talent off the waiver wire. Woody, do you think any of these waived players could stick around on the practice squad? And who's one guy you're hoping the Bears grab from another team cuts, Woody?
Oh, that's tight end. We're pretty much, solid. I mean, we just signed Smythe. Wilson's been playing a lot during the preseason. But yeah, the waiver wire, I would say Tampa Bay just released their safety as well. I'm thinking that Ryan Poles is going to be active too on the waiver wire to bring somebody in at these positions, maybe most likely safety.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Shiloh Sanders, that's an interesting guy because normally, when you get a guy like Carter for the Eagles, in the chance that we would get a guy like that, but we didn't have the right coaching to take, that on. And I thought it was ridiculous, but here's the deal. Everything is all right now. So if we get a guy like Sanders, don't worry, guys. We've got the right coaching staff in order to make this happen to work out. Is that pizza there, Woody? Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll slice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Can't wait to go. I'll be out in Chicago week 3. I can't wait to try that deep dish.
Oh, bro, you're gonna love it. There's some great stuff. And you're with the right guys too. So, hey, Bears Nation, we are at a crossroads right now. The 2025 Chicago Bears are not just a team; they're a freaking movement. An 8th ranked roster, a top 3 offensive line, Caleb Williams ready to shine, Ben Johnson calling the shots, and a defense that's gonna make opponents run scared. This is the most electrifying time to be a Bears fan in years, man. I'm on fire, Woody. Final question. Are the Bears a playoff lock this year? And what's your bold prediction for the 2025 season, man?
Well, I did say the Bears will slip in to the playoffs. I did have them at 9. I have them at 9-8. Tough first half of the season. Plus, I don't like the bye week being week 5. It's too early for me.
Yeah.
But I think they slip into the playoffs as a wild card, and I have them at 9-8.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys, you heard it first here, man. Bears Nation, Woody's bringing the heat, and so are we, man. I want you to jump in the comments. Tell me, is this roster top 5 material? Can Caleb Williams be the NFL next big star? Are you worried about these roster cuts? Let's hear it. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe, and turn that notification bell on so you'll never miss a second of Bears on Tracks, guys. And I'll tell you what, if you do all that, if you hit the like and subscribe button, if you share this video, you can enter in for a chance to win a jersey of your choice. Cheryl Childers, she just won a beautiful Devin Hester jersey, stitched, really nice. And the month before, we just had one from James. He wanted, I'll tell you what, your left guard, Woody. He got the left guard's jersey. Joe Thuney, I thought that was a good choice, Woody, for sure.
Yeah,
man.
Veteran preference. There you go.
So, man, I mean, we're charging the playoffs, guys. I get your popcorn. It's going to be awesome. I feel good about it. Bear down, guys. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think we've said it all. I think we didn't leave any meat on the bone until we figure out what's going on for Tuesday. We're going to hear a little something on Wednesday. I think we're going to have quite a bit of cuts tomorrow, Woody, and then they're going to put the finishing touches on Tuesday, don't you?
Yeah, the last hour of Tuesday, they have to be by 4:00 is their final cut down. I believe there's going to be 30 cuts on Tuesday itself.
Oh, man. Yeah, so they're really going to have to dial it in on Tuesday, man.
Yep.
It's going to be a day where we're definitely going to have to check things out, make sure everything looks, go through it, fine-tooth comb and see what's what, and see who goes back to that 16. See who goes back to that 16 practice squad, because there's going to be some guys that we still want to hold on to and see, here's the other thing, Woody. This is why you take you got to look at a guy like Sean McVay, because he kind of looked like the smartest guy in the room. It was a little insulting to the other coaches out there that want to play their starters, in the preseason. Sean McVay won't do it. And they didn't understand, but once you start to see the type of production that he had and he had success, they're like, he might be onto something. And I mark my words, in a couple years, we're going to get rid of that third preseason, because at one point we had 6 preseason games. Now we're all the way down to 3. A couple years, we're going to be down to 2. So your starter's going to play 1 quarter for 1 week, then they're going to sit the rest out. And we're going to, why? Because we're going to end up having 18 games in a couple years.
Right.
I don't have any inside source. I just feel like that's the way it's going, Woody.
Yep, I have a feeling too. They were talking about cutting the preseason down, which they did from 4 to 3. Talking about going to 18 games. So that means probably only 2 preseason games. So teams are going to really have to start their starters at least one of those games to see if they all gel together, because practice is practice. So
practice is practice. And you know what? Thank you guys so much for watching. Woody, tell everybody where you're at, man, and give us a nugget of the day. Anything that you want to, spread a little. Don't give us all your 11 herbs and spices. Tell us where to find those so we could watch your show. But yeah, man.
Yeah, so I might join my page. I'm at Woody Bear Down. I'm one of the hosts for Hallis Hall Report. We're on Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern. And Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Can't wait. Monday night football. It's going to suck on Sunday because all the teams that are playing, and we have to wait an extra day. I'm excited to see how we get after the young quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, and stop their running game. They picked up Jordan Mason as well. So that's a great running back duo they have with, Aaron Jones. So, bear down. And speaking of McVay, you just picked my my Super Bowl. I said Bills Rams this year.
Bro, I'm so glad I'm not in your fantasy football league. You and Timothy, I think you know just enough in order for me to, to I might have to call you. I might have to phone you in since we're in different leagues and be like, hey, what do you think, man?
Absolutely.
Like I said, hey, man, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Thank you, all the watchers. If any of your guys came to watch you, Woody, you travel well, because we got over 100 in the building, and I'm sure they'll be filing in as we get further on into this, as people watch throughout the rest of the evening and then into tomorrow, man. But I tell you what, man, we'll be right back. We'll be right back tomorrow night at 6:00 Central Time. Our guys are going to be on. They're going to be watching everything that's been going on, everything that's going to be like what he said. He really feels strongly about Tuesday being the crescendo with all the guys that's going to be cutting all the final touches. But I still feel like some business is going to be going on tomorrow. So we'll take a look at that. The guys will break down what's going on at the NFC North with all the, the Packers and, the Lions and the Vikings and all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, man. So, hey, Woody, thanks again for showing up and showing out. Appreciate you answering.
No problem.
You have a good night, brother. I'll talk to you later.
You too. See us.
Yeah, bear down.
Bear down.